Hey guys, Mr. C here. Today we're going to have a look at multiplication. So before we start with going over a recap of multiplication, let's have a minute and think about what multiply or multiplication actually means. Pause the video and have a think about what you think that word means. Usually as a teacher, when you ask this question, you get the answer of, yes, I know, it means times. And then usually they do a symbol like this. Well, when I ask you what does that actually mean, it can be a bit confusing, because surely as times is something to do with clocks, watches, when's your dinner, or are we there yet? But in this situation, when we talk about multiplication, it means something different. And I'm going to try and explain that just now. Let's have a look.
What we're going to do is explain multiplication using this lollipop stick monster. Now, if we're going to look after this lollipop stick monster properly, there's certain rules we need to follow. For example, if we touch his tummy, what's going to happen is he's going to multiply. So what do you think is going to happen?
Do you think we're going to end up with an absolutely ginormous lollipop stick monster? Don't think so. Are we going to end up with lots of little lollipop stick monsters? So he's going to cut himself into little parts? Don't think so. Let's have a look and see.
Of course, you know it doesn't do any of these things. What actually happens is it duplicates. You get the same thing again, and again, and again, and again. So this means when we multiply, we get a duplicate. This means if we multiply by 5, we get 5 exact duplicates or copies of the thing we started with. If we apply that to numbers, it means we get the same thing again and again and again and again.
What I want you to know is, what's more important is learning how multiplication works rather than memorising the facts. Have a think of it this way. Could you memorise the French national anthem? Probably. Would that mean you knew exactly what it meant? No. So let's have a look at numbers now and see how we can use this duplication fact to help us.
This time, we've got 2 sticks. But what was to happen if I was to duplicate this 3 times? Or, as we would more normally say, 2 times 3. As you can see, I've duplicated the original 2 3 times. I've got 2, another 2, and another 2. So you can see I've now got 6 sticks. Another way to represent this would be with a bar. So we've got 2, a 2, a 2. We know that the whole bar is the total number of sticks that we've got, which as you can see is 6 sticks. Now I know that's a bit simple for you, but we can use these skills to help us figure out bigger number problems. Let's try one now and see if we can use what we've learned here to help us. To help us, we're going to have a look at this question. When I can, I'm going to go on holiday with 3 friends. Our plane tickets cost £126 each. How much will this cost me? First thing I'm going to do is draw a bar. The bar will describe how much the whole amount the holiday is going to cost me. Second thing I need to do is look how many parts I need to split the bar into. Well, you can see I've got 3 friends going with me and I'm going 2. 3 add 1 is 4. So I need to put my bar into 4 equal chunks. Now I've split it into 4 equal chunks, I can see that each part of my bar is going to be 1 ticket. Now, 1 ticket is going to be £126. And what we know about multiplication is each of these things is going to be a duplicate, so in each of these bars is going to be £126. Now, don't know about you, but I don't have £126, but I do have place value counters. So what I'm going to do is put 126 in each of the bars. What you can see is I now have 126 in each of my 4 bars. So each is a duplicate of the other, meaning they're all exactly the same, meaning I've added 126 4 times. Now what I'm going to do is figure out the answer. To do this, I'm going to partition all 4 bars into hundreds, tens, and units. This will mean I'll have a column of hundreds, a column of tens, a column of units. I can add all these together and get the answer. Let's do that now. As you can see, I've now partitioned it. What I can see now is I've got 4 hundreds equaling 400, 6 tens equaling 60, and 4 rows of 6 ones, which makes 24. The final answer is to add all these together. So 400 add 60 is 460, add my 24 is 484. Let's try another one now. In this example, you're going to do each part of the question as we go through it. Let's have a read of the question first. In my new kitchen, I want 5 stools. Each stool is £132. How much will it cost for 5? Step 1 is going to be drawing the bar. This will be the total cost for 5 stools. Pause the video and draw your bar. As you can see, I've drawn my bar. The next part we need to think about is how many stools we're buying, because that'll tell us how many equal parts we're going to have in our bar. Well, you can see I want to buy 5 and I'm asking you how much will it cost for 5. So what I need to do is separate this bar into 5 equal boxes. Pause the video and do that in your bar. The next step is we need to know how much they all cost. Now we know the price of one stool. The price of one stool is £132. And what we know about multiplication is that we're going to be duplicating the same thing over and over again. So if one stool cost 132, 2 stools is going to be another 132, 3 stools another 132, 4 stools another 132, 5 stools another 132. So what I need you to do now, using whatever you've got, you can use numbers like I'm going to, you can use counters if you've got them, you can use anything you like, but what I want you to do is put 132 in each of these 5 squares. Pause the video and do that now. Now I have added 132 into each of my squares. You need to move these numbers from here into your place values. Once you've done this, add up how much is in this place value and then add the total together. Pause the video when you're ready, move the numbers down, add them up, add up the 3 totals and you'll get the final answer. As you can see, I've moved the numbers into the place values and I've added them up. So I ended up with 500, which was 500. I ended up with 5 rows of 3 tens, which added up to 150. And then it ended up 5 rows of 2 units, which made 10. Final thing I need to do is add them together. 500 add 150 is 650, add 10 is 660. If you got 660, well done. If you didn't get 660, where have you gone wrong? Work backwards through the steps and look at where your mistake is. Once you find it, remember not to try and make it the next time. In this example, I want you to take what we've learned and do the steps yourself. Let's read the question together, then I want you to draw your bar, split it up, partition out the answer, and then add it together. Kim Kardashian has 4 children. She spent $1,325 on each at Christmas. How much did she spend? Pause the video here, take your time, figure it out, and check the answer at the end. Good luck. How did you get on? This is my workings for that question. As you can see, there's my whole bar. I split it into 4 parts because she has 4 children. I've then labelled each part exactly the same because we're duplicating the number in each one. I've then partitioned the numbers into their place value and added them up. Once I've got these totals, I've added them up to give me the final answer, which is 5,300. I hope you got the same thing. The next step is going to show us how we can do this once we get really good at this method. The next step takes us on to the revision that we're going to do. If we have a look at this question, it says each of the 144 pupils in P6 gets £5 from Mr. C for their great writing. How much is he paying out? So this time, instead of drawing a bar, what I've done is immediately labelled what would be in one box. I know each of the pupils is getting £5, so instead of drawing 5 boxes, I've simply said that I'm going to duplicate 144 5 times. Now this doesn't mean we can't go back to that strategy if we get stuck. This is how we're going to fill it out. We're going to start in the lowest place value, which is the units, and we're going to do 4 units duplicated 5 times. If you need to, you can draw the bar at the side and you can figure that out. As you can see, for the units, I have drawn 5 boxes and I've put 4 in each one because I'm duplicating 4 5 times. So this makes 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. This means 4 times 5 is 20. To show that, in this method, we put the 0 in the units place, and we need to remember to carry over the 2 tens. I now move on to the next place value, which in this number is the tens. So again, I've got 4 times 5, which I know from this drawing is 20. Again, if you needed to, you could do the drawing and count it up. However, I've got 2 to add from the last time. So instead of putting 20, it's 20 add 2, which is 22. So I'm going to put 2 in the units place because there's 2 units in 22. I'm going to put the 2 from the 20 over here. This leaves me with the next place value to do, which is the hundreds. So I have got the hundreds to do here. I'm just going to do a drawing to show you. We've got 5 boxes again. And each one is going to be 100. So it's 100, 100, 100, 100, and 100. Because there's 100 5 times duplicated. So I can see that 5 times 100 is 500. Now, I've got 2 left to add to this. Now, this is not 2 tens, it's in the hundreds place, so it's 200 left to add. So 500 add 200 is 700. So in this place value here, we're going to put 7.
I hope that's helped, and what we're going to do now is I'm going to leave you some questions. You're going to have amazing, fantastic and brilliant. You can pick any ones you want for the 3, and what I want you to do is give that a go. You can either use the method that we used with the bars, which should be easier for you, or you can go straight to the standard written method in the columns. Either way, it's doing the exact same thing. So here are the questions. As you can see, green is amazing, which are the easier questions. I would suggest if you're doing green, you use the bar method and you use some materials. If you're going to do orange, which is fantastic, you might want to try the bar method, you might want to try the standard column method, that's up to you. And then finally, if you're doing red, you should manage the column method fine by yourself, but that's entirely up to you. Give it a go. The answers will be posted underneath. Please make sure you only do one set of questions because the rest of the questions are for later on in the week. Before you go away and start the questions then, let's just reflect on the steps to success. Start off by drawing your bar. Then, describe the whole amount. This will be the full size of the bar. This will be what you want to find out, i.e. your answer. Describe how many parts you need to split your bar into. This will be hidden in the question. Describe the parts of the bar. Remember, once you know one part of the bar, you're going to duplicate that into every single part. Write the values you know. Again, this will be hidden in the question. Choose a strategy, whether that's partitioning, column method, or breaking it up, and figure out the answer. The answers will be posted. Let me know how you get on. Any problems, drop me an email straight away and we'll go through it and I'll help you. Good luck.